One Piece, chapter 1056 is out, and Oda has done it again and has given us a chapter with so much information and so much ridiculousness. And I think I'm going to do this chapter review a little bit differently. I'm going to just start off with the craziness that is the Cross Guild, because we got to give Buggy props. His recruitment skills are absolutely insane. Now, obviously, we don't know the details of how he managed to recruit two of the most powerful pirates in the One Piece universe in Mihawk and Crocodile. So it seems like the world government has given credit to the Cross Guild as something Buggy created, but I can't imagine Crocodile following Buggy. He's too smart, and if he is, he's definitely the brains of this operation. Buggy must have used some... I am so interested into what Buggy had to say to get Crocodile to join his crew, because it really is it's really hard. It's really hard to make sense. Props to the YouTubers out there who said that Buggy recruited Dracula, Mihawk, and Crocodile, and that's how he became a Yonko. And that makes perfect sense, because if you have powerhouses like Mihawk on your crew, I'm pretty sure you're automatically going to get shot up to Yonko level, because it's Mihawk. And then to add to Mihawk, you have Crocodile on your team too. Buggy's entire organization just went from a playful kind of joke of an organization to literally a Yonko level crew. It's insane when you think about it. And it's funny because I kind of have to agree with Zoro in this. I can't imagine Hawkeye also just joining Buggy. There must be something under there. And I like how Law and Kid, who don't really know anything about Buggy, like Law's like, if he's capable of commanding men like this, then he's definitely worthy of a new emperor. And Luffy just like, no. I know Buggy. Buggy is an idiot. I don't know what the heck happened, but it's not Buggy doing this stuff. What is awesome is that Buggy's issuing bounties on Marines, and I always wondered, like, who would do that? I always figured it would be someone like Blackbeard to actually put bounties on Marines, but Buggy doing it actually makes sense, and it does make him somebody to be feared, because pirates don't go out their way to just attack the Marines. Even the revolutionaries don't go out their way to attack the Marines. They attack the world government, but not the Marines. The Marines are just like the lapdogs of the world government, you know? But putting bounties on Marines' head is like a reversal there. I could see why Green Bull was so pissed off, because he's like, you all have no idea what's going on in this world. We got pirates out here hunting Marines because some idiot named Buggy put bounties on Marines' heads. Like, come on, guys. Can I just take Straw Hat Luffy's head so we can have one W on our plate right now? Because we're catching a lot of L's. The Marines are catching so many L's right now. They need a W. Seriously. But Buggy coming out the gate as a Yonko, recruiting Mihawk and Crocodile, is insane. I cannot wait to see the conversation in between the three of them. Now, that being said, we know what happened with two of the Shikibukai ever since they got disbanded. And now I'm kind of starting to worry about Boa Hancock. I'm starting to think she may have gotten captured. I kind of figured Weevil was going to get captured, but they didn't send like any powerhouses to send Weevil, so maybe he did get away. They didn't at least they didn't show any vice captains or anybody there to capture Weevil, so maybe he got away. If it wasn't Kobe who went to go get Boa Hancock, I would have been a little more expectant of Boa Hancock to make it out without getting captured. But because of who Kobe is and his position in the story, he's kind of like a modern day Garp. He's the new hero of the Marines. I can't imagine from a writer standpoint that Oda would have Kobe take an L here. So there's a good chance that unfortunately Boa Hancock has to take the L, which sucks. I wonder who Fujitora was going after. Because if Fujitora was going after Mihawk, that means Fujitora lost. Just wondering. Another cool thing that happened in this chapter was the interactions between Luffy, Kid, and Law. You know, it's funny, right? Law says all this stuff like, after we leave this, our alliance is over. Like, we're back being rivals. And I love how Luffy just kind of like, no, we're friends. We're friends. He doesn't just say it straight up, but everything about Luffy's like, we're friends. It's cool. We're all gonna set sail today. We're all doing the same thing. We're all gonna go our different routes, but we're still friends. right? And I love how both Luffy and Kid picked the middle, the east, and Law's like northeast. And then he explains to them, he's like, guys, like, have y'all looked at a map before? The most direct route is northeast. Both of y'all went the other way. And they're just like, what? And it's so funny looking how like Law is a smart and calculating captain, and you can tell Luffy and Kid just kind of do whatever and go whatever, and if it weren't for their crew, they'd be a whole mess. But what's something that's really interesting about them is that after Law gives Kid a rubbing of the roll poneglyph, which he's right, he did earn it, fair. Surprisingly, to be pirates, they are very honorable pirates, but they say they want to search out the man marked with flames. I wonder if this is a character who Oda has already introduced. If this is like Scopper or something. Like, I feel like this is somebody who was a member of Roger's crew. Either Roger's crew or he was a member of the Rocks Pirates. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm looking forward to seeing whoever this is. We may never get to see who this is because I don't think we're going to follow like Kids and Killer's story unless it's like a cover story. But Oda doesn't usually follow people outside of the Straw Hats though. Who knows? I did like how Law's face looked like he knew who it was. But I like how Kid's just like, well, you don't know? I guess we're a step ahead of you. He's like, come on, man. Like, we just fought Kaido together. We just all this stuff. We just gave you a rope point. If you can at least give me a hint. And they don't show if they did or not. Because it goes forward to Yamato. Which is actually a good segue into Yamato and Carrot. Because going into Wano, we always wonder who was going to be the next Straw Hat. A lot of people were like, it's going to be Carrot. And then when Yamato got introduced, it was like, it's going to be Yamato. And as the story progressed, we kind of felt like more so Yamato than Carrot. And this chapter confirmed that for us because Carrot has been selected to protect Zoe, which means I've noticed that the characters that get introduced in some of the arcs they won't necessarily become part of the crew, but they do become allies of Luffy, kind of like the Straw Hat. They become part of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet in the sense that when he got to Dressrosa, he recruited all the prisoners and the Coliseum fighters there to be part of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. And then he went to Zoe and Whole Cake Island, which, when I think about it, is where Carrot comes from, but she was never recruited into anything. She would just join the crew. She sailed with the crew. She did all that. And then we got to Wano, and the two people who were recruited to go in the Straw Hat Grand Fleet is Momonosuke and Hiyori. It's not as obvious, but they're obviously not leading Wano. And Wano is allies of Luffy, and they're the leaders of Wano, part of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, and all of the samurai that Wano has. So now, Carrot actually joining up as an ally versus part of the crewmate makes sense, because if you want the Minx and Zoe, and the whole point, you can kind of see that the whole point of Luffy's character is to unite all the nations, and not in a superficial way, the way that Big Mom did it in Whole Cake Island, but in a general, more so in a sense of trust and belief in each other and supporting each other is what Luffy's doing to bring people together. And it makes sense that they would keep Carrot as the new leader of Zoe, because I was like, there's no way Nekomamushi and Inuyasha are going to leave an 8-year-old, 28-year-old Momonosuke by himself. So I figured maybe that would happen, but now that it's revealed that Carrot's the one who's staying, it almost gives, like, it's not confirmed for sure that Yamato is going to join the Straw Hat crew, but I don't see another option here. I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as we expect. She said something again at the end. She said, it's finally time for me to live like Odin. Like Odin. This time she didn't call herself Odin, or it's time for me to be Odin, but to live like Odin. And I think part of this is going to be Yamato finding her own identity as Yamato, not as Odin. Even though Odin is her inspiration the same way Shanks is Luffy's inspiration, Luffy wants to be a great pirate like Shanks is, but he doesn't want to be Shanks. And I think that going forward, Yamato's entire storyline is going to be her accepting herself as Yamato versus her as Odin. And that's actually where the chapter ends. It ends with Yamato potentially joining the crew. I really want Yamato to join the crew, because going forward, if If you have to encounter Buggy at any point in time and you have Crocodile and Mihawk on the side, they're going to need some powerhouses. So I'm pretty sure just going forward, Yamato is a much needed crewmate for the Straw Hats versus Carrot. No offense to Carrot, Sulong form is strong, Carrot is strong, but she doesn't light a candle compared to the strength that Yamato has. So I think Yamato is a great addition to the crew. I can't wait to see what's happening going forward. I think Shonen Jump is on break next week. I don't think One Piece is on break, but since Shonen Jump is on break, I don't think we get a chapter next week. We'll see. But this was a fantastic chapter. I did skip a few things. Like Sukiyaki revealing to Momo that he's the grandfather. He should have been done that. So I'm just kind of like, don't be a deadbeat dad. Don't be Yasop, okay? Don't be a deadbeat grandpa. I do think that we're gonna get an actual send off next chapter with Hiyori and Momonosuke. I'm just trying to end this. Now I'm going backwards. But I did love how Momonosuke came in there wanting Zoro to teach him some more swordsmanship. And Momonosuke, and I love the bond he's formed with the crew, especially Zoro and Luffy. Luffy's like his big brother and Zoro is like his sensei. And I could tell that it's actually going to be a pretty emotional send-off when they do leave. So I know Oda's probably going to dedicate an entire chapter to their send-off, which is going to be amazing. A whole cover spread, probably. Not a cover spread, but a whole 2-page spread. It's going to be awesome. I really have grown to like Momonosuke. He's grown to such an amazing character. I wasn't doing videos when Momonosuke was introduced, but I hated that kid. He was a snot-nosed brat. I was like Sanji all over with this kid. I was like, this kid is a perverted little just brat. But the way his character has grown is absolutely amazing, and I love it. Last but not least, I do want to close off with this. Obviously, Oda does not introduce a character for no reason. We knew Caribou was going to play some kind of a role in this story. He didn't play a big role in the fight. I don't know if he was even in the fight, but I don't remember him being in the Wano fight, so he probably wasn't. But the fact that he's there, sneaking around like he always does, listening to stuff he shouldn't be listening to. First, he sneaks up and hears the talk about Poseidon and Shirahoshi's Poseidon. Now he overhears that Pluton is in Wano. This guy is like the greatest accidental information broker in the history of One Piece. But he says there's a certain someone who'd love to hear about this. And I'm starting to think that maybe Caribou is the 10th Titanic captain of Blackbeard. We think of the Titanic captains as being powerhouses, but information is just as powerful as strength. And if you want to be a Yonko and remain a Yonko, just like Shanks brokers in information, and a lot of information. Why wouldn't Blackbeard do the same? Perhaps Caribou is the 10th Titanic captain. That's a theory. I don't know if that's a theory worth an entire video, because I don't think there's any evidence to back that up. But it's still an interesting theory. And, that's going to do it for me today. A lot of other cute moments happened in the chapter, like Shinobu and Tama and all that stuff. It was cute and whatnot, but, I don't really feel like talking about that. That's it. That's all I want to talk about for this chapter. If you liked the video, give me a like, subscribe below, hit that noti bell. I've been The Blank Face. I got some more videos coming really soon, and I will see you in the next one.